Hello everyone. Today I'm going to talk about and review The Wonderful Wool by Hugh Howey. Make sure we get a good shot of this. I'm not sure with glare and everything. But it was a pretty fantastic book, yeah. It gets you excited right off the bat. It starts off with like a mystery that you have a character like search for and uncover certain details, and come to find out that even all those efforts don't really quite work, and then time goes on, and you realize that that mystery, you find out about it later, but then it's more about why it's necessary for the conditions of that mystery to exist. And it's pretty exciting stuff. I'm speaking very vaguely. So in the book, Wool, what happens is people live in a silo. They live in an underground silo. It's cylindrical. It's deep. It goes to 140 plus floors. There's a totally working economy and habitat for all these humans that live there. They have a system. They have relatively modern technology. Obviously, reading it from your point of view, you're curious as to how things are the way they are. But as far as the characters are concerned, everything's just as normal and normal as they can be. They live that way for as long as they can remember. Though the thing about as long as they can remember is history's not really a thing. They just know that, like, as when they were taught growing up, they're not allowed to talk about the outside world. They're not allowed to be curious about all that stuff. They know about it, and one of the ways they know about it is there's these cameras that exist outside that give you a view on the highest level of the silo in the cafeteria. And I think as far as the details go, I'll leave it at that. But everything's normal. They have farms in the very down deep. There's this there's a whole mechanical area where they're drilling for oil. They're drilling for ores. They're processing these things. They have a supply situation where they fabricate everything. There's pumps taking the water out, because naturally speaking, water is just going to come in the lower levels of the silo just from being underground. And sorry guys, I've been distracted. This little monkey's like going everywhere. You haven't met him yet. His name's Arthur, and we named him after one of our favorite characters in a Douglas Adams book named Arthur Dent. You're a jerk, Arthur Dent. Mwah. Okay, enough of that. So, I highly recommend this book. It's Hugh Howey's first book. He wrote them in stages. He got feedback early on. It was kind of a book that has been a culmination of like fans and the writer really working on the stages together, because he submitted them via like kind of short stories through like digital copies. So like in the beginning you could read bits and bits of them, and then he finally just kind of, through the attention he was getting and his own ideas and kind of feedback, he put this book together. I like how understanding it is of mankind's curiosity and how it can get in the way of things. I think this book really tries to tackle the idea of intentions and how far, how much energy you can put into them, and how well intended they are, how they can be almost kind of really, I don't know, I don't like throwing around the word evil, but it's really just not good, like. And then there's also really crazy bad things that kind of have to take place with the understanding of human social structure in order for us to maintain that structure. I like a book that plays in the gray area a lot, and by the end of this book, you're like, who was actually right? Like, you know, the person that was, you know, overzealous about, you know, uncovering all this like secret shady stuff, you know, really kind of threw the world into a chaotic, dangerous place, which was not the position it was in when no one knew anything, no one really communicated with each other. It's not an oppressive society, though. I don't make it want to seem like that. It's just that there's rules, and those rules are very important, and you shouldn't break them, or you'll be sent out the airlock to clean the cameras, and then you'll die because it's toxic outside. That's why they're in a silo. Nobody knows why. You know, they just get to look at it and not talk about it because you're not allowed to. But it's really funny. After you're sent out to clean it and die, there's this holiday inside, not because like, yay, someone died. It's just because someone cleaned the view, the smudges out of the view, and they get to go up to the top floor and make like an exodus because some of them live really, really deep. And they go up and they get to look at a very clear view. And the morale of the whole silo is uplifted, and you know, school's out, and the kids get to like ignore adults and all that stuff. And it's one of those books where it's, even though it's in a silo, it's like its own world. It's like a different planet. It's just that humans went and populated and made it their own, except for it's within a system that has just kind of probably been set up. I mean, no one really knows too much about the past. They know that there was an uprising. I'm still being vague. I'm not giving really anything away. They don't know. I haven't figured anything about the past uprisings. There's just been uprisings they have known about and tried to avoid because it means like really terrible things if it happens. So I'm just gonna end it there. I talked a little bit about this book on the last review, about how I was almost done with it, and I about finished it about a week ago or so. Wool by Hugh Howey. My next book, though, is a book I've been really looking forward to. It's with an author that I've really enjoyed reading in the past, Robert A. Heinlein. This book is called Time Enough for Love. It's got really cool book art. A gentleman in a kilt, like a ginger-looking gentleman in a kilt with like 3 ladies, just like, hey, what's up, dude? And they're like, I don't care that she's right there. And this girl's like, I'm taller than all of you. I'm not sure if I'm pointing out the right pictures. But Robert A. Heinlein is a fantastic writer. I mean, I've read Stranger in a Strange Land, one of my top 5 books of all time. Starship Troopers, it would easily compete in one of those positions. There's so many books competing for that. A Door into Summer, a very small novelette, but fantastic read. I lent it to a friend, so he has some reading material, and it disappeared with him. But he's a good friend, and I hope he's enjoying that book. So, yeah, guys, I will see you next time when I review Time Enough for Love. I'm about 40 pages into it, really excited about it. Pretty cool. So, oh, and you already saw Arthur, so I'm just gonna end it. That's my other animal. I have 3.